The kicker, Chris Boswell, has it ready to go, and we are underway from Pittsburgh. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in the 2020 draft out of Utah State. This is Jordan Love.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Play action this time with Love. Short throw, he's got Kraft. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Love looking to throw it. Short throw, he's got Kraft. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
On play action, Love to throw. He'll get this into the hands of the rookie from Texas. And he's brought down. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
Well, that's one way and a good way to get things going offensively. One play in, and they're already on the move. The defense, they're hoping that's not a sign of things to come as this game unfolds.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 34. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
And he is going to have a Packers first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
To the left side, there's the tight end Musgrave. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Love. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. A bad third down mistake there.
Points were already on the board in their mind. And that's the worst part about it, right? Because it's just like in golf. Never count it in the cup until it rolls in there. Otherwise, you can really get messed up with your scores. In this case, you know they thought, hey, at least 3, maybe even a chance to get 6. It's a little bit demoralizing going off the field now that you've turned it over and you come up empty.
Yeah, if he holds on to that, at least the field goal on 4th down, now they lose it. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On play action, it's Rodgers. A quick throw there is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Rodgers. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Well, dialing up that play call certainly meant that he grabbed a little extra shot of courage on that one, because normally on 3rd and short, you're just trying to move the sticks, get the ball just past that line of scrimmage. Instead, they take the big shot downfield, and it pays off.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. This is caught. It's Woods. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is, finish this drive off, because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you. That one came up just a little bit short. I'm wondering, is he still a little bit tight as this game starts? What would you say? Maybe he's got to take the governor off of it?
Or maybe the donut off the baseball bat, like the guys in the on-deck circle?
I like that. Yeah, just take that little extra weight off of him and start to play freely.
He'll find Metcalf. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them, and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Rodgers again now. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. They fumbled the last time they had the football. Fortunate that it only led to a field goal. 3-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And a short pickup to about the 25.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 7. They will run the draw with Jacobs. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
4 receivers on the field. It's 3rd and 4. Throwing. Love. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
On 4th down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. This is taken at the 18. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On the give, it's Warren. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race. But how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. He'll let it fly for Austin. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So pass interference the call. That's going to set him up with a first down.
And if it's a bang-bang play, maybe the flag stays in the official's pocket, but instead, he definitely impeded the receiver's right to catch the football. The officials letting the players know how the game's going to be called here in the first quarter.
Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. They'll come up now 3rd and 3. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Boswell's kick is good, and that will make it 6-0. So the big return had him fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
So a couple of field goals now. 6-0 our score as the kicks away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And now the Packers get set to go. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better. Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. 2nd down coming up. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
2nd and 7. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Six nothing our score after 1. The Packers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They'll come out in a 4-receiver look. 3 men to the right side on 2nd and 6. Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Romeo Doubs, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Packers have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. This is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. A drive that time of 6 plays. And that drive all capped off with a Romeo Doubs touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And that to the 30. It'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Well, they'll come up 2nd and 7. Now it's Rodgers. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. To throw, it's Rodgers. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
Now a run with Warren. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Big Kenny Clark that time pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Throwing is Rodgers. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw now, here's Love. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Now Love. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Here's Love. His throw incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Love now. Buying time to him. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Alex Highsmith making a nice play and getting the sack. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Here's Daniel Whelan now. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday you press it a little bit. This might be the case.
They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
It may be only a gain of 3 yards, but that back, he deserves a lot more credit on the play. That could have easily been stopped at the line, but his vision and his determination found some space to turn it into that modest gain.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. On play action, Rodgers. They got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 34.
That's a well-thrown ball right there. This is where arm strength pays off because he's got to be able to get the ball both downfield and to the sideline. And that's one of the more difficult throws for a quarterback, and he put it right where it needed to be.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll run it. Warren. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 8. Here's Rodgers. And he slings one that's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got his man. It's Warren. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Up the middle, Johnson. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Rodgers now to throw. And that one too wide and incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a 4th down.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call him for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Boswell's kick is good, and they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. The last series for them a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 57 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and a couple. Play action this time with Love. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that, 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Love, they go play action now. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun. Love. That's complete to Dobbs. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Jacobs from the gun. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. This 2nd and 4. Play fake. Here's Love. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. To pass, here's Jordan Love. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the first half winds down.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Love. Touchdown, Packers. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers have retaken the lead. An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
McManus now for the extra point. And the lead is up to 5. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the result, a Green Bay score. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. It's Warren. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Rodgers going to throw. And this is incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. And that is incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Set to punt. Here's Cameron Johnston. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packers offense and running back Josh Jacobs set to take over once more. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Open man, that's the tight end fire move. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Now Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Now Rodgers. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the 3rd quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Packers offense and quarterback Jordan Love heading back out onto the field. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing. Love. Got Dobbs over the middle. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Here's 3rd and 6. Love looking to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On play action. Love to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. 25 yards that time.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Off the play fake, Love. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Now a 2nd and 10. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain.
It was 3rd and long, so he had to figure that the defense would be coming with extra pressure. Found a way to get away. He couldn't see the imaginary yellow line on the field, but he knew exactly where it was and found his way there for a 1st down.
To throw now, here's Love. Over the middle, complete. That's Jacobs. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now Love. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. From 4 yards out. And the Packers are able to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
McManus's point after is good, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Throwing is Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. It's Warren. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On the run, it's Warren. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker, 4th down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time. Now, Charles, remember they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
Here's Love. Slant route, he's got Dobbs. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
On now is the Packers punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
A nice gain of 21 yards.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a 1st down.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Second and 10. Here's Warren. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Rodgers. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. was Sean Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at the 20. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he can muster only a couple here to the 24. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Now a 3rd and 6. Love now. Can't get away, and he's taken down. T.J. Watt able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage, and that time they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
On now is the Packers punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Here's Austin. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. On play action, it's Rodgers. Throw out wide is incomplete. A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA. Now a handoff up the middle. Warren. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Warren, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. 84 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Short throw, he's got Kraft. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And they're going to get the 1st down here across the 15-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love. A short throw to Musgrave. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Love from the gun. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Love.
He's got the hook up with Dobbs.
And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 32-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, third down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
The Packers on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on third down conversions. They need a yard here. Back to throw. Love.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal.
Jacobs is in. Touchdown, Packers. But just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Now McManus for the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field.
And they have had problems getting the running game in gear as we look through some of their attempts from earlier. They have just not been able to match the physicality that this defense has shown, and their lack of success on the ground is a direct reflection of that.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
2nd and 9. Now it's Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here's Rodgers. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit him over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They run. It's Johnson, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Looking sideline, incomplete. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Play fake. Here's Love. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And the Steelers are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. And the Steelers set to take the field. The interception was a good starting point, but still a huge hill to climb with this 3-score deficit and time fading. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Woods. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quay Walker.
And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stares on that sideline. This is one of those games where you just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. To pass, here's Jordan Love. A short throw to Musgrave.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Counter play with Jacobs. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 154 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Going on the ground with Jacobs. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder.
The kick by McManus is good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Now the Steelers getting set and ready for their next possession. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
A short one there to Freiermuth. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
To throw is Rodgers. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Rodgers now to throw. Now wasted time going right back to DK Metcalf. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
On play action, Rodgers. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Calvin Austin from 13 yards out. And the Steelers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And now the Steeler offense staying out there, and they'll go for 2. Rodgers will throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is recovered by the Packers, so that might just about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
To a knee goes Love, and that should be that.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
So a win here for the Packers, and it was all thanks to the play of their veteran quarterback.
Yeah, he had a great night throwing the football. Wound up with 3 touchdown passes for the game. And his leadership, it really showed through in this one.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say good night from Pittsburgh.